This is our Maisie Jane. She came to live with she came to live with us when she was 8 weeks old, and she's 11, and she is a very special girl. She's had some health issues. She's got hypothyroid, and she's had Lyme's disease twice, and some other stuff too, but she's allergic to a lot of different foods. And we started cooking her raw homemade food when she was just a puppy, and getting more and more into cooking everything. Come here, honey. Come here. Maisie. Getting into cooking everything we can out of ingredients we know about. She loves salmon. And I was buying a product called Yummy Chummies for a while. But Maisie's allergic to wheat and can't have that. And the chummies were just sort of inconsistent. Sometimes they were hard and not chewy at all. Sometimes they were a bag full of crumbles. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make them myself for our Maisie Jane. And she thinks that chummy cooking day is by far the best day of the week. So we're going to go in and we're going to make some chummies. Her ingredients for the Yummy Chummies, the homemade Yummy Chummies, are wild Alaskan pink salmon from Trader Joe's, a whole can of that. I just ground some garbanzo beans for garbanzo bean flour, and you can use whatever type of flour you want to use. We use garbanzo bean flour because Maisie is allergic to quite a few things. I wouldn't recommend using any gluten flour, but bean flour, rice flour if your dog can handle it. My Maisie cannot handle rice, so we're into beans. This is a half of a cup of tapioca flour. This is a third cup of chia seeds, organic chia seeds. And this is 1 tablespoon of egg replacer. And this is the egg replacer that we use. We have xanthan gum, and I don't measure that because I'm going to put it in to achieve the consistency I want. And then we've got water. So everything goes into the mixer at once. We start with the salmon, and I will rinse out the can to get all the good stuff out of that. The garbanzo bean flour, the tapioca flour, chia seeds, egg replacer, and we'll save the xanthan gum for just a little bit later. We want to mix this pretty thoroughly, but start out slow because it will want to splash the first couple of turns. I'm just adding water to get to the consistency that I like, and I'm going to make it a little looser than it seems like it should be because the xanthan gum is going to firm it back up again. It usually takes about somewhere around 1.5 cans of water. Normally I just put the water in by can. Okay, there we're getting close. And I'm going to turn this on high speed for about a minute. Okay, it's been mixing for about a minute on high speed, and I am going to add. I'm just going to turn it right off so it doesn't spray the camera. I'm going to start out with maybe a little bit more than a teaspoon of xanthan gum, and I'm going to be looking for a difference in the kind of stringiness of this. You can see it just is kind of gloppy right now, and you'll see the change. Okay, you can see it's starting to change already, and I want it to string a little bit more than this. String isn't the right word. Maybe elastic, or that's not right either. I don't know what it is. Just make up your own word, I guess. Okay, you can see it's starting to get a little ropey. It's starting to have a design in there, and that is as much xanthan gum as we need. Now I'm going to turn this on high speed again and mix it for another minute. And this is done, and it's ready to come out of the mixer and be put on the cookie sheets to bake. So here's our finished chummy batter, and you just sort of test your consistency when you're making it like this. I've tried so many different so many different recipes that I've kind of been through the whole gamut of how to make these. And this, I find, works the best. It cooks the best, and it makes a nice chewy chummy if you don't overcook it. So what I'm going to do is take half of the batter and spread it out on each of these two cookie sheets that are lined with parchment paper. There isn't any oil in this mix other than what was naturally in the salmon, so you're going to need to put it on parchment paper or it will really want to stick. So I'm just going to spread it out. This actually takes a little bit because it's a little on the gummy side. And try to get an even layer. If you have spots that are much thinner, they're going to be overcooked and they'll get really crunchy. They'll just be crumbs when you try to go and cut this up. So, but then on the other hand, if you have some real thick spots, they're just going to be undercooked. So this is kind of the trickiest of all of the steps, is to get it so it's pretty even. Okay. One final smooth over. I think I've got this one pretty even. Okay. Now I will do the same thing with the other half of the batch, and we'll see you back in a minute. These are going into a 375-degree oven, and about halfway through I am going to, on the first of this top layer, before I turn them over, I'm going to switch them from one rack to the other. The chummies are in the oven, and Maisie's waiting. Okay, it's been a half hour, And I switched them over halfway through, and look how puffy they are. So what I'm going to do now is give it a quick flip, take the paper off. Sometimes the paper doesn't want to come off right away, and if that happens to you, just pop it back into the oven with the paper on, let it cook a little bit longer, and then you'll be able to peel the paper off. This one's not puffed quite as much, but it's just fine anyway. And back they go to finish cooking. Still waiting for chummies. Okay, these have been in the oven a total of about 50 minutes, and they are a little soft still, not over hard, but they're not at all squishy. They're not going to turn significantly brown, so don't look for that. But we just want something that's a little pliable so that we can cut them up. I put them right onto a cutting board, and with a pizza cutter I cut them up first one way, and then I go back and cut them the other way, so I have little square treats. Okay, well, I am going to have the tester see if this is a good batch. So these are cool enough over here. We're going to hand them over to the tester and see if we have completed our task adequately. It looks like it's been a success. Operation Chummy has been a success! Yay! Isn't she pretty? Oh! Okay, all right. I have to let these cool all the way before I put them in a bowl. We just put them in a bowl like this, and we keep them in the refrigerator. And they never last more than a week. I'm going to let these cool a little bit before I take them off this board, and then cut up the other batch. So here we are with a week's worth of chummies and a little girl that is going to be very willing to chomp them up. She would like to have one right now. She loves them. They're chewy and they are soft, and they'll stay okay. They'll stay soft for the week that they'll last. They last almost a week with her. And gets a lot of omega-3, and they're very healthy. And she, as you can see, thinks they're pretty swell. So for Maisie and me, thanks for watching. I hope you try them. I hope your dog is as happy as ours. See you next time. Bye.